Hey, what's up guys? It's Mark at Wicked FPV. I have found the secret sauce to 4.1. This is the Armatan Marmot build. I'll put some flying video here at the end to show you guys how good it's flying and how locked in and everything it is. But I could tell a big difference when I first flashed 4.1 on it and using the RPM filter. Big difference in the feel, and it come alive, and I really liked it. But even tuning all the filters all the way down and everything, it just didn't come alive. And I'm going to show you here. I'm going to do a walkthrough, and I'll show you my tune. Hope you guys can see here. Let's connect. Enable expert mode. Alright, let me go to well, first let me go to the configuration here and just show you guys what I am running. I am running D-Shot 300, bi-directional D-Shot, and I'm running 4K. Oh, I need to get over here and view. Alright. Now on the PID tuning tab, here is my rates, well, the PIDs. We do a walk through the PIDs. Okay, now down here, this is where I have these sliders set to. Okay, now let's go up to the filters. Now this is where we're getting into the secret settings, and Bardwell didn't really even cover this. Okay, you slide this up, you keep going, you're at its highest point. That's not all. It really comes alive when you take these over towards the end. But down here is the secret sauce, and once I explain this, I'll show you guys. Now right here, the dynamic Q notch will be at 200. If you follow Bardwell's video, you'll see this is set at 200. This is where things starts happening. Now, I don't know how much further I could take mine, because I sort of stopped because it was so perfect and so wicked. I don't know what you could possibly do to this quad to make it fly better. It's just, oh my God, it's perfect. But the lower the number here, the wider your dynamic notch is. Let me see if I can explain this. The width of your notch depends on how much response you have. If you've got a really wide notch, it's going to cover a wider noise peak on your motors. But the wider you have that notch, the more delay it causes in stick response and your filters. Now, the higher you have this number, I crank mine up to 350. The higher you have that number, the more narrower your notch filter is, tracing and following your motor noise peak. The narrower you have that notch, the less and less delay you have, and it really dramatically affects your stick feel. I can't explain how that number right there is what brings the quad to life. Man, it's just so much responsive and instantaneous stick feel. I'm going to experiment and try to take these numbers a little higher. I don't know what would happen if you guys go too high. If you go up in the 400, 500, 600s and it'll freak out and have a flyaway, I don't know. Now I'm sure the higher you take this number, you're really going to have to pay attention to the temperature on your motors. I'm sure your motors are going to get hotter because the more narrow you take that notch, the less noise is going to be filtered on your motors. But my motors are not getting hot. I can really do a hard flight and punch out and just be crazy. And when I land, after about 3 minute and 30 second, 3 minute, 40 second flight, that's usually what I get out of this. My motors are just warm to the touch. I can keep a hold of them and they're fine. They're not getting hot whatsoever. That is the secret sauce, guys. That, what was the name of it again? The Dynamic Notch Q. Look here, I've not even raised mine back up to 3 like he requested, because it's just flying so good. It's flying so perfect, and the delay is so, I mean, it's instant. I've never flew a quad that's as responsive as this one is. So I'm leaving it alone. I'm just going to leave it at 1. I raised the Dynamic Notch Q to 350. That's your secret sauce, guys. I hope this helped somebody, and share in the comments below. Now, you guys that's not running the RPM filter, ignore everything I've said, because if you're not, you're really not even getting the use of 4.1. There's no sense of even updating from 3.5 to 4.1 if you're not going to do this right here. If you're not going to enable bidirectional D-shot and utilize the RPM filter, 4.1 is useless. That's the main cheese that 4.1 brings to the table, is getting rid of all your delay and making it crazy responsive and no prop wash. No matter what you can do, the RPM filter is where it's at. So if you guys are not running the RPM filter bidirectional D-shot, just ignore what I said on that Dynamic Notch Q, because it's not going to affect you the same as it will someone else. But there it is. Let me show my rates. I've showed everything else but my rates. How I've got every quad set up the same here on my rates. My computer's being laggy. This is what rates I run. 125 RC rate, 70.75 Super rate, 27 Expo. Run a little bit less on the yaw. My TPA is 0.65. TPA breaking point is 1250. That sounds a little low, but it's the sweet spot. Everything ramps up once it passes that 1250 mark. But this, let me go on down to show this. This is what the rate curve looks like. But hope that helps you guys. Comment in the comments below. I'd like to see how that helps you. Anybody cranks it up or cranks it down or whatever, I'd like to see your response in the comments. Thanks, guys, for watching Wicked FPV. With the notch filters at 350.